Welcome back everyone for a Ninja Turtles Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. We're not going to talk about the Ninja Turtles, but we are going to talk about some of their weapons. Obviously the Sai and one other. There's been a lot of talk about weapons recently because of the teaser trailer tease.
Mr. Miyagi treated me like a son. He wouldn't keep any secrets from me.
Are you sure about that?
We see a hand reach for the Sai, and we see it slam down next to Daniel. Needless to say, the rumor mill has exploded. Theories everywhere. Many people think this secret of Mr. Miyagi revolves around weapon fighting. Like Mr. Miyagi didn't teach Daniel how to fight with weapons, and Daniel never realized it. Apparently, somehow. And so this is a big revelation and shakes him to his core. Okay, this theory is based on the excitement of seeing a Sai in the trailer, but it is not the case. Daniel is both aware of weapons and knows how to use them. At Valley Fest, he was using a bow.
It's what Donatello used to use. He was my favorite turtle.
Thank you, Stingray. I like Donatello too. But not only does Daniel know how to use it, he also clearly taught Sam and Robbie defense against a bow. Weapon defense is part of Daniel's Miyagi-Do training. That means, yes, Mr. Miyagi taught him all of this. So what about the Sai in the trailer? What's going on? And there's another important question. Look at the background here. It's all wood and there appears to be a pole or something right here. But compared to this shot, notice how none of these walls are wood? Is this location and this location the same? Or is there some deceptive editing going on? Trailers are known to do that. Yes, the Sai and the background all tie in together for an important reason. I was on a live stream with Cobra Kai Companion. In that, co-host and superfan Brianna Davidson put forward a very important discovery and theory.
Hanging on the wall back there, over Abe's head, is a pair of Sai. They have black handles with gold banding.
These Sai look a lot like this Sai. Then, can we assume it is the same weapon? Brianna says so. I will add that in this shot you get another look. There are clearly weapons on the wall and the Sai are there. She also noted the wood in this shot doesn't appear to match this room. That would mean the Sai shots are not in the same fight or even in the same episode as this shot. This fight here with the Sai would be happening right in this room, in Mr. Miyagi's house. The wood background and the Sai give it away. Also notice the mats. See how the lines are running here? Notice the same style mat with the lines in this shot. So this is all deceptive editing to confuse us for the trailer. By the way, Cobra Kai Companion is a podcast with a supplemental YouTube channel. I highly suggest checking out their stuff. Tons of interviews and behind the scenes stories as well as episode recaps. So 2 fights, one of which happening in Mr. Miyagi's house, would be quite a twist on our theories. However, I believe Brianna is wrong. The biggest obstacle for the theory is this post. It's small but important. I checked everything in this room for it. The door, the lamps, the chair, nothing quite seemed to fit or make sense. The colors don't line up. It's light, dark, then wall again. That pattern doesn't fall anywhere. But there's also this shot. This is a very clear shot of the weapons in Miyagi-Do. So if you were one of the people who thought the big secret was Mr. Miyagi didn't teach weapons, please take this shot to heart. Let's compare the Sai. They're both black and shaped the same, but the handles are different. On this Sai we count 7 gold stripes. On these 2 there are only 4. Also notice here all 7 stripes are straight across. On these Sai, the stripes are on an angle, so you conclude that while Daniel learned weapon fighting and respected the use of weapons, the fighting in this scene all takes place in Okinawa with weapons that you presume belong to Chozen. The intention is to show a very similar Miyagi-Do style across both. Even though we are in another country, we are still in a Miyagi-Do dojo. The weapons are similar and we compared the mat already, though we still have a problem. What is going on with this wood background? It's nothing like here, and no, this spot doesn't match it either. Also, what is all this? It looks weird. It looks like maybe the floor of another room? Is this some fight that spans more than one room? I want to compare the thickness and side of the mat to this one. Except there aren't any good shots of it. The only one I can find is this, and Sam's blocking the view. Luckily, I'm good friends with Iron Man. Hey Tony, be a hero and get rid of Sam for us.
painted and the deck's been sanded.
Ah, much better. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so this mat is pretty thick. We also don't see the same edges on here the way we do here. So either these edges are at the end of the mat, or this whole second mat underneath is something that is only here. It looks like a lower mat holding the upper mat in place. That would make sense when you realize this was shot on location in a house in Atlanta. Perhaps it was just extra protection for the floor. There's one more important thing that will tie this all together. It's something we can find if we zoom in a little. Except for what? We've already zoomed in on Chozen, the pictures, everything in the room. Except it wasn't everything. We've been looking on this side and not this side. Look closely now. You see that? You see how the mat is going along, then suddenly something is sitting on top? There? That is a bow. Notice all the stripes and markings? They are identical or nearly identical to the bow Daniel used at Valley Fest. Daniel's bow was probably purchased and brought from Okinawa. Chozen has the same bow for himself. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The reason a bow is sitting here? Well, let's put it together. We already established this is a friendly sparring match between friends. I suspect the match begins as hand-to-hand combat, but weapons are placed nearby that they can grab and use as the fight progresses. Look at it. It's deliberately positioned in a place to be picked up and used. So let's use some more logic. If a bow is here, then the sai is positioned here, off screen this way. It makes sense that the sai was sitting on the edge and maybe got knocked down right before he grabbed it. There's the bow, then you go this way, there's the sai at the other end of the mat. I suspect as this fight goes, Chozen throws Daniel to the ground. More fighting, perhaps Daniel tries to get up but can't. At some point he rolls over, knocks the sai down, and grabs it. That's his hand, at least I've been assured it is. Chozen gets the bow. Now we have full-on fighting with weapons. While the fight is intense, having lost his balance, Daniel makes mistakes. Chozen disarms him, grabs the sai, and slams it into the mat.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I can't be completely sure, but it makes the most sense. But what about this wood background? You see the lines in the mat running towards the camera at a slight angle? We know from this shot the lines run parallel to the large black stripes. So you know the lines are running this way. So Daniel falls perpendicular to the lines. That would mean in this shot, compared to the main floor, Daniel is lying this way. That puts the camera here facing the unseen back wall. We don't see this wood background because we don't have any other shot of it. This is the best explanation I can give for everything until the next video. In our next watch party, we will be discussing what episode this is and where it falls in the season. Be sure to subscribe, you don't want to miss it. Have a great day, and I'll see you at our next watch party.
Your sensei teach you how to fight with spear, huh?
Yeah.